Consider this. Every year, over 200,000 American women are diagnosed with breast cancer, but only about half the women who should are getting mammograms. Now, some of the reasons they say they don't are the cost, the radiation, and the pain involved. But what if there were a way to detect breast cancer years before it would have otherwise have shown up without the exposure to radiation from a mammogram or the pain of a biopsy? We're hearing more and more about a procedure called thermography that promises those kinds of results. But can it deliver? That's what I set out to find out for you.
It's like looking for a snowball in a snowstorm to look for a tumor with mammography.
Patricia Lucardi is not a radiologist. She's trained to use a high-definition infrared camera to detect hot spots in your body. It's a procedure called thermography, basically a photograph of the heat that your body produces. And she says it's more effective than mammography.
This woman was starting to have a mass. You can see she was 1.78. 6 months of dietary changes. Look at that. Had she waited 10 years before it could be seen on conventional screening, she would have cancer.
Lucardi says cancer tissue is more metabolically active, warning you years in advance of where a tumor is growing.
I just wanted to see how I was doing because I was really suffering from my I had a lot of arthritis.
Patient Ann Mathai says thermography allows her to avoid the pain of biopsies and the danger of radiation. She used it to change her lifestyle after a thermogram of her breasts revealed estrogen dominance created from environmental factors like pesticides and personal care products.
Where else can you get a snapshot of what's happening? Yeah. And like I said, the cost is nothing when you look at your whole life. If you save yourself from cancer and all the unnecessary biopsies.
It's important to point out the FDA has cleared thermography as an added tool, but not the main tool in breast cancer detection. I talked to a prominent FDA mammography expert by phone from Washington.
The temperature differences, the type of information that these scans give you are non-specific, and they really are very limited as to the type of disease processes that they might be able to provide insight on.
Lucardi counters that a New York Presbyterian Hospital Cornell study identified 58 of 60 malignancies.
So you can see in this woman who came back in a year, she was starting to have heat in her left breast, and the vascular pattern had increased over a year. So it's very important to do follow-ups.
Is that cancer then?
Yes, that is cancer.
A prominent Rochester Breast Care Center told me there's no way to transpose a hot spot seen on thermography to a mammogram or ultrasound, and a local radiologist agrees.
You can see tiny pinpoint calcifications with a mammogram, which may be the first sign of cancer. This is a big calcification by mammography standards, and I don't know of any thermal camera that will resolve that much.
That would. And he said, I said that would even see it, and he said absolutely. So is it worth a look? Well, thermography carries a minimum out-of-pocket expense of $255 to $500. The FDA says it's fine to use as an adjunct to mammography, which should always be your go-to procedure. Lucardi says it can detect environmental stressors that could cause cancer down the line. And patient Ann Mathai, well, she says her thermography helped her eliminate toxins, which has reduced inflammation in her body.